All right, I think this thing is live. So, hey guys, wanted to make this quick video just to give you a walkthrough of what I do to master all of the audio for the videos. So every video that comes through media, or any video that gets played on weekends, I should say, has to go through a mastering process so that we can make sure that before it gets sent out to the campuses or before it gets played on a weekend service or a special event. If it gets played in a service, it has to be at a specific level. So I'm going to walk you through how we do that. First things first, what we're looking at Pro Tools. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through, like I said before, and I'm going to show you how to level it out. So let's do that. So Command Shift N, we're going to add a new track, and then I'm going to make that a stereo master fader. Great. All right, and after I do that, I'm going to go to my mix view, and I'm going to go to these inserts over here. Up at the very top, we'll go to Dynamics, we'll find Limiter. And okay, so your inputs and your outputs, these are the two things that you're going to want to focus on. Threshold and ceiling, inputs and outputs. All right, so your input, this right here, this threshold is controlling your input. Your output, this ceiling right here is controlling that. So what we'll do is whenever we are leveling out this track, if it's too loud, we'll use the ceiling to turn it down. And if it's too quiet, we'll use this threshold to turn it up. So you can see that this is going down, but when we're doing that, it in turn is actually turning it up, and I'll let you hear that in a second. So let's do that real quick. All right, so what we're going to do first is we are going to select one of the tracks so that we can make sure that the input, or I'm sorry, on the timeline, the ins and outs are correct. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. We'll make sure that master right here is selected. And then I'm going to bounce it. So Option Command B, and we're going to set. Demo. Do this here. Okay, great. I want to right over that and bounce. Yes, I want to replace it. Boom. All right. So next thing, you should have some type of analyzer, like an audio analyzer, that tells you what everything like level wise is. So I recommend the U-Lean loudness meter because it does just that. But then also it gives you, and I'll show you this later, it gives you like an analysis, like breakdown of everything. So let's do this. We're gonna drag. Let's go and find it. Okay, breathe on us. All right, we're gonna drag this into here. All right, so as you can see, this right here, this is what you don't want. This means it is too loud, way loud. You don't want that. So right here it says negative 5.8. We shoot for negative 14 point whatever. I'm not really a stickler on like, so like if it's negative 14.2 or negative 14.9, it's fine. It just needs to be in that range so that whenever we are at front of house and a video gets played, there's not really much movement that we'll have to do with the faders, and that's campus wide. So just make sure that it's at negative 14 LUFS. So now that we know that it's at negative 5, we know that that's too loud, so we want to bring that down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to Pro Tools, and we're going to turn it down, go to our ceiling, we'll bring that down. And I'm just going to, let's see, it's at negative 5, do some quick math, and I think it was negative 5.8, so we'll do, let's try 8.2. .8, 8.2, that should be 14. All right, and then we will bounce this. Yes, I want it to write over it. All right. I'm going to open up the loudness meter one more time, and we're going to drag this on top of it. Boom, negative 14.1. All right, so like I said before, this thing, it gives you like the reading of it, things that you want to shoot for, negative 14 point whatever. This doesn't really matter. This is short term. We're not looking for short term. We're looking for integrated. Loudness range, we're looking for that. Typically, I tell my mix guys, if you're mixing, which that's a totally separate thing. This is just mastering that we're going over now. But if you're mixing something, I tell them shoot for negative 0.2. That's not really something that you're going to want to focus on because we're not doing anything for social media. It's a little bit different just because it's a different platform, so it has a different, I forget the term, but you don't want to have to focus on, or you don't have to focus on that. So you're going to shoot for negative 14. Since we've gotten that, I'm going to show you real quick. I said earlier that it lets you export an analysis of it, like a breakdown. So I'm going to show you that. So we'll do this export. You can name it export name. We're going to export this promo. And then export. Boom. All right. So, as you can tell, before we mastered this, there was a bunch of redness that was up here. We got rid of that because we leveled it where it's supposed to be. But you can see it's at negative 14 integrated, which is exactly what you want. And we are set. I should have said this before, but what we're doing in this video and what I just went over is mastering. It is not mixing. Mastering is something that happens after mixing has taken place. So what I would say is if you're doing a video and you have a bunch of different sound effects, you have a bunch of different, let's say spoken word, we'll say rule of thumb, anything that has any dialogue that has not been mixed. Like if you track something and it has not been mixed, send it to either myself or honestly, if you feel like you're capable of doing it, go ahead and try your hand at it. If it doesn't end up working out, then reach out to me, send me a text, whatever. I'd love to help. But just so you're aware, everything that I've shown you today, this is not mixing. This is just mastering. So you want to make sure that everything gets done on the mixing side correctly. Otherwise, what we're doing right here, it will not be as easy. So all that being said, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, shoot me a text. I'm here to help. But other than that, that's it. Thanks, guys.